Hey everybody, Mr. Gajewski here, and in today's lesson we are going to talk about and introduce to you inequalities as well as graphing and writing inequalities. So let's go ahead, let's zoom in here on the top left, and an inequality is a statement that two quantities are not equal. So on the left-hand side we have 5 different inequalities. The quantities are compared by using one of the following signs. Red is less than, in blue we have greater than, green less than or equal to, purple greater than or equal to, and orange not equal to. Now if you want to read the statements and how we read the inequalities in full, go ahead and pause the video. Otherwise, I will be moving on to the next section. So identifying solutions of inequalities. Tell whether the inequality 3 minus x is less than 2 is true or false for each value of x. So to do this, we're going to take each value of x, substitute for x in my inequality, simplify, and then we're going to tell whether or not we have a true or a false statement. So my first one, 3 minus 0 less than 2. That'll give me 3 is less than 2. Is 3 less than 2? No, it is not, so we will say false. How about 3 minus 1 less than 2? That gives me 2 less than 2. Now is 2 less than 2? Well, it's equal to, but it is not less than. So we're going to say false. Well, what if I try a 2? 3 minus 2 less than 2. That's 1 less than 2. Is 1 less than 2? Yes, it is. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to say true. Let's try another example. Tell whether the inequality 5 minus 2x is greater than or equal to negative 3. So very similar to the last problem, we go ahead and we substitute in a 2. Let's multiply first. Well, 5 minus 4 is going to give me 1. Is 1 greater than or equal to negative 3? Yes, it is. So we can say true for the first example. How about 4? 5 minus 2 times 4 greater than or equal to negative 3. 5 minus 8 greater than or equal to negative 3. Is negative 3 greater than or equal to negative 3? Yes, it is. So in this case, negative 3 might not be greater than negative 3, but because we have that little line underneath our symbol, which means equal to, if we get negative 3, then we have a true statement. So this is also true. Let's try one more. How about 5? 5 minus 2 times 5 greater than or equal to negative 3. Well, 5 minus 10. And that's going to give me negative 5. Is negative 5 greater than or equal to negative 3? No, it is not. If I think about these on a number line, negative 5 is going to be farther to the left of negative 3. I want numbers that are to the right of negative 3 on a number line. So in this case, we are going to say false. All right, let's talk briefly about graphing inequalities. So when we graph an inequality on a number line, there are 4 different possibilities. So for less than, we have an open circle, and we shade to the left. Greater than, we have open, shaded to the right. The greater numbers on a number line are to the right. How about x is less than or equal to a half? Okay, equal to. So things are going to change a little bit here. We want to include that 1/2. So we're going to go ahead and close that dot off. We're going to close that point off by filling it in. And then we want all the numbers less than. So on a number line, to the left. So closed and to the left. Well, for greater than or equal to, close the dot and shade to the right. Let's try some examples. So B is less than 1.5. So less than 1.5. We're going to start at, negative 1.5. We're going to start at negative 1.5, which would be right about here. And it's not equal to. So we're going to leave it as is. We are not going to fill in that dot. But then we want all the values less than negative 1.5. So less than on the number line, we are going to shade to the left. And that's it. How about R is greater than or equal to 2? Well, we're going to start at 2. It should be right about here. And it is equal to, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to close that dot off. And greater than, all the numbers greater than 2 are to the right. So we are going to go ahead and shade to the right. And that is it for graphing. How about writing inequalities from a graph? So a couple things we got to look for here. All right, looking at the top one. I'm going to start by picking a variable. It can be anything you want. Typically we're going to use x, so I'll go ahead and I'll use x in this example. And now I need to think, am I shading to the right or to the left? In this case, I'm shading to the right. So which symbol or which numbers are included? Well, the number's greater than 4.5. So we're going to have greater than. This is an open circle at 4.5. So we do not need the less than line underneath, or the equal to line underneath my greater than sign. And then what value am I starting at? I'm starting at 4.5. Circle your answer. So that is it for the first one. How about this second one? Again, pick a variable. It can be anything you want. How about y? Look at the direction. This one's going to the left, so we want less than. We have a closed dot, so we're going to have equal to. And what is that value? What number? Negative 2. And that is it for writing inequalities from a graph. That is it for our introduction to inequalities. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll see you next time.